back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And another one bites the dust. Ah! Where's the motherfucking dance moves? And another one bites the dust. Ah! Yo, damn, man, I hate to bring you this news. Anderson Silva, the GOAT, or so he once was. Anderson Silva, the Spider UFC legend, is facing, if serving the maximum penalty, an 8-year suspension. But that's not going to be happening. If Anderson Silva had to serve an 8-year suspension, he would not be able to return until he was 50 years old. So his team has said that if he gets over anything over a 2-year suspension, he's out of there. They said Anderson Silva will retire if given anything over a 2-year suspension. Now let's get into the details. Anderson Silva, this report is coming from Combate, tested positive for synthetic testosterone and an unspecified diuretic. He was going to be fighting Kelvin Gastelum in the main event of UFC Shanghai. He was pulled from the fight and replaced with Michael Bisping when he tested positive. Now, keep in mind, this is Anderson Silva's second doping violation. His first doping violation, though, was before USADA. So his team is hoping that he will be considered a first offender because this is only his first time being flagged for a doping violation since USADA's been here. So if Anderson Silva is not considered a first offender, he's looking at up to 8 years. The 42-year-old will now expect a hearing with USADA with an undisclosed date as of yet. Silva's party also expects him to be judged as a first offender since he was trialed by the Nevada Athletic Commission in 2015 when he tested positive for 4 different motherfucking banned substances before and after his bout against Nick Diaz. Those failures, which led to a 1-year suspension by the Nevada Athletic Commission, were prior to UFC's partnership with USADA. Now that's interesting. Okay. Silva's reps also said that the MMA legend would retire if given a suspension of at least 2 years. USADA may still factor in his previous failure and consider Anderson a repeat offender. If that is the case, Silva faces a 4-year suspension with aggravating circumstances, potentially doubling the maximum ban to 8 years. Damn, that's crazy. And that's unfortunate, man. A lot of people, Anderson Silva, brought a lot of eyes to the sport. He still did a lot for this sport. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, especially, what are they called? The straight edge, or the people that are just 100% against steroids. If they see a fucking steroid, they rage like they're on steroids. I completely understand it. Those people who, the clean sport aspect, they're gonna fucking hate Anderson Silva and hate everybody that's ever sniffed a fucking steroid. The Mark Hunts of the world. They consider these people dirty cheats, and I completely understand it. You can take it to many other different sports. I mean, baseball before the steroid era. Some people still say, hey, let them do what they do. It made the game more entertaining, and it was before testing was around. Some people say, no, fuck them. They need to be taken out of the history books and all of that jazz. Now, the thing with MMA is it's a little bit of, since USADA's been around, the sport's been cleaned up, you can say, even though some people would still debate that. Before USADA, you could say it was a level playing field, right? I mean, or wrong. Some people would say no. Of course, there were fighters back before USADA that chose to fight clean, but at the highest level of the UFC and the Strike Forces and the Prides before USADA, there was probably some sort of testosterone or something. And with Anderson Silva, that's what they're saying. It's testosterone this time. Now, Anderson Silva has vehemently denied ever actually, taking steroids himself. But with that being said, it is what it is, man. UFC legend Anderson Silva's USADA violation was for synthetic testosterone and a diuretic, and he's looking at anywhere from a 2-year to an 8-year suspension. But his team said if it's anything longer than 2 years, he will be retiring. So it may be the end of the Spider, unfortunately. That being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.